Instructions for the use of Pulsara. As you can see on the phone here, it's asking for my PIN number. The reason why is because I've already logged into this. I would encourage you to make sure at the beginning of your shift to log into Pulsara. That way you don't have to mess with your username and password when you're on a call. You're already set to go for the day. So when you open up Pulsara, and once you've logged in, and I've set this to where this should not expire. But just in case you do get logged out, you'll have to re-enter your PIN. So you can go ahead and enter your PIN, and it takes you to this screen, and you see STEMI, stroke, and I know it's hard to see from here, but that one says general on it. So let's do a STEMI case. Any time that you see a triangle there, right here, those are required fields. So with that being the case, you have to select the hospital. We only have one, since that's us. You have to select your at patient time. So let's say our at patient time is now 16:54. Now there's an orange triangle here and an orange triangle here. But what Pulsara does for us is once we set our scene departure time, and we can say we're going to depart at 16:58. Hit done. What it will do is it'll automatically calculate the ETA in that field there, and it automatically, based upon your GPS location, will also give the distance in miles. But because I'm here at the hospital, it gives it 0, and it says that we will arrive at 16:58. Next thing down is first and last name. One of the things you can do with Pulsara, you can use your microphone. Test. Test. That makes it a lot easier. I do ask that when you're practicing with Pulsara that you do, number one, let the ER secretary know that you are, and two, use the names test and test, because this does keep statistical data for us. Anytime that you use anything other than test and test, it will throw that into our statistical data, and it'll throw our stats off. So make sure you use just test and nothing else. Patient gender. You don't have to enter height and weight. Images and ECGs. So a couple things that you can do with images and ECGs. Since this is a STEMI, you can either take a picture of the cardiac monitor screen of the 12 lead, or you can take a picture of the printout. Now the one thing that it does for you if you take a picture of the screen is that on the screen are the vitals. So that eliminates you having to enter in the vital signs down here. So that's an advantage to that. The other thing that you can do with images is you can also capture a driver's license, and that'll give the secretary heads up on the way in of who this patient actually is. So collect images. It brings up your camera, and select photo. It's just going to take a picture of the couch, but select photo. There's your picture. Down here, use photo. Now if you have an Android phone, some of these things are going to be a little bit different. Up here, you've got back, which will take you back to the other screen, or you can add an additional photo if you need to, as many as you need to. Click back, it takes you back. Here's contacts. Contacts, if for instance you have a patient that maybe is unconscious, unresponsive, and you want to enter in some information of a contact person, you can do that. Like I said, vital signs and labs you don't have to enter in. Then you get down here and it says alert. So once you hit alert, it then comes over here, and this is the ER's iPad. And so it starts alarming, and it's going to continue to alarm until they answer. Now after a while it's going to shut off, but then it'll pick back up and start alarming again in 15 minutes and just keep getting louder. So once they hit the screen there, it brings up their PIN number. And I'm going to pull away for a minute because there's some actual patients in here because we've been using it. And it shows their patient. your patient that you're bringing in. And so here is what they're going to see. Once they select OK, bring that patient up, over here it's going to send you a message that says Community Howard has acknowledged the patient, and you just simply select OK. Now over here it tells them who the patient is. You notice a phone here. If they select that phone, if they need to call you for some reason, that gives them the phone number of the device that sent them the message, so they can call and talk to you if they need to. Shows them the images and ECGs, which there's the picture of the couch. And of course, vitals and labs we did not put in. We are not using any of the team alerts, so this activate button on them is not active. Now, one of the other things that they can do, and you can do as well, is if you see down the bottom right corner is a balloon, and those are there's some pre-canned messages that I put in here. You see bypass ER, call ED, direct to cath, repeat ECG. They can select one of those and it'll send that message to you, or they can free text a message to you. There's different messages for stroke and there's different messages for general. So say they're going to tell you the patient's going to go directly to cath lab. It's going to say here, patient can be taken directly to cath lab basement, bypass ER. And that's basically saying back door, which going down in the basement through the back door, which we probably won't use very often. So come back over here to your phone. Got a number 1 there in the balloon, and select OK. Patient can be taken directly to cath lab basement. It also gets you a little heads up warning that you do have a message. So hit OK. So you can also do the same thing. You can select, you got abnormal vital signs, cardiac arrest, critically unstable patient, intubation, needing security upon arrival, STEMI protocol. STEMI protocol is patient has received ASA and Brilinta. See if I can get to the others here. Security is just requesting security upon arrival. Intubation, just patient is intubated. Let's see. Critically unstable patient. Patient is critically unstable. Please be prepared for critical patient. Cardiac arrest is going to tell them that. Abnormal vital signs. Vital signs are low or critical. The other thing that you can do is free text. And again, you can use your microphone. Please be advised that patient has gone into cardiac arrest, unable to obtain IV access. Comes up B access. So, but you can record your messages in there. Send that. Going back over to ER's iPad, they got a new message, and there's the message. Please be advised the patient has gone into cardiac arrest. So they can go back. This is telling them first contact time, how much time has evolved. Now, the one thing that they do have on theirs is they have archive, and you have on the bottom of yours, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, stop STEMI. So you can stop the STEMI, and it's going to ask you why you're stopping the STEMI. That doesn't stop what's going on here. What happens here, though, with archive is if they hit that archive button, that stops the call. So if they accidentally hit that before you get here, that stops it. And so if you need to enter any more information, then you have to restart a new call. So I've encouraged them to please be careful not to hit archive until after the patient gets here. So one of the things that once the see, let's archive this. So I archived it. It's done. But you can go back in. You still have your information that you can get for your report. So you can get patients, my patients. There's all my patients. And I can go in and get information on those. So for the report. I encourage you to use this on every call that's coming to Howard. That way we become proficient in this. If we just use it for STEMIs, we're only going to be using it, maybe once every 6 months. So I encourage you to use this on every call. And if you have any questions, let me know.